Hey everybody, welcome back to the J.F.K. channel. Can we all agree on both sides? The ones that don't believe Karenread is not guilty, and for this side right here, all the ones that want to free Karenread. Can we all agree we're living on this planet, going through these crazy times together? Let's be nice to one another. Can we all agree on that? FAWKERY Donuts is now open. I need y'all in the comments. Hit me with them super thanks. Thanks in advance. Let's get to it. Part 4.
His girlfriend? No, I think she's passed away.
Testimony revealed
came from Jennifer
McCabe, January 29th,
2022.
Michael Parker.
If you think for 1 minute this was a plan, she hit him and she just left him there. And then she circled back, and then she had this plan to go get Jen and to go back to find the body, and then to say, hey, I don't know what happened. Last time I seen him, I was at the waterfall. In one interview, she said that she seen him get out the car and walk to the house, and then the morning of, she said she didn't remember anything.
So I pull at the foot of the driveway, it's snowing, John has no coat on, it's windy, so I drop him off, he goes up the driveway and approaches the side door, and as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone.
Now what I chalk that up to is that maybe she was on some type of medication, or she was just blacked out drunk, things just started coming back in pieces. These things happen. Her planning all this right in the moment, aiming the blame, grabbing a truck, taking it to Dayton, all these things that we try to put on her like she's some sick individual. She has no criminal record. She's not a criminal. She don't have a criminal mind. But yet we want to paint her this way. The other side wants to paint her this way, the ones that think she is guilty. Look at the footage, the evidence that I show on the timeline in the bar, the text messages that came out after. That's the reason why this whole case got blown out of proportion. Because if Karen would have said, and I say this all the time in many other videos, would have just said from the jump, hey, I was talking to this guy named Higgins, and I think he might have did something, then this might have went a different way.
You said you were the first one back to Brian.
To Brian Albert's house, correct?
yes. It was an open invitation, and I planned on heading over there.
You didn't say goodbye to John,
I
correct?
don't think I said goodbye to anybody.
And
You didn't talk to him about coming over to 34th area.
No.
If you think for 1 minute that she made up this big conspiracy, but let's just keep the facts to the facts. Can we all agree that she got arrested in February of 2022? She got arraigned in Stoughton District Court. Her lawyer was Yannetti. See, Yannetti was a Middlesex County District Attorney for years. He's a poetic gentleman. Very slick. Can make anybody sign a green sheet. A green sheet is when you make a plea agreement. Do you not think that he would want to plea her out in the House of Correction? The House of Correction is different from the state. Let me break it down if you don't know. She was in district court. That means that's the House of Correction. When she went to Superior Court, now she goes to state prison. She didn't get arraigned in Superior Court until June. That was 4 months. She had Yannetti, an ex-DA from the Middlesex County District Attorney, the biggest county in Massachusetts, that's been around, that knows how to get a plea, that knows how to talk to these DAs. He used to be one of them.
I began my career as an assistant district attorney. I spent nearly a decade investigating and prosecuting cases and seeing the inner workings of the police departments and the DA's office. As a former prosecutor, has been invaluable to me as I defend people today who who are seeking justice.
You don't think he went around sneaking around, snooping around, looking to get a plea? He could have got her 5 years in the House of Correction. A 2.5 with a 2.5 from and after. She would have seen parole in 30 months. She would have got it. It's her first time. Then the other side would say, J.F.K, you're crazy. She's not taking 5 years. She'd rather create a conspiracy and get with the blogger. But let me explain. 5 years at 42 when this happened. Let's analyze this. Can we agree? She's 42 years old at the time. Okay? 42 getting out at 45 doesn't seem so bad. It's not like she was 20 years old looking to get out at 23, 24. That seems like a lifetime at that age. I'm 42. I go home when I'm 45. I put this behind me. I'll do it. You don't think Yannetti, with his poetic ways, his poetic justice, was selling her on that? But she didn't do it. She didn't do it. Why? 4 months, 120 days. She never took the plea. It was on the table. Believe me, it was definitely on the table. See, can we agree also that this was never about John O'Keefe, Officer John O'Keefe, Karen, or the ones that we name in the conspiracy, Big Bad Brian A. and Higgins, the ATF boy? This was never about them, no. This was always about the investigation, the DA's office. This was through their lens. The investigation was amateur hour. They felt embarrassed. They wanted someone to go down. It's a business. It's a business. So they indicted her and they put the pressure on her. Someone needs to go down. Can we agree that the Commonwealth and the whole prison system is a business? Let's parallel it to airplanes in the sky, Boeing. Look at them. They ain't never changed. They look the same. You watch a movie from 1976, you look at the Boeing, it looks exactly the same. It never changed. Big business. I got another one for you. Caskets. They ain't never changed. Very retro. Never change. Big business. You live and you die. It never changes. Dare I say, nothing has changed. You guys would say, well, social media changed everything. Well, social media is almost 20 years old. That's getting a little stale too. It's big business. Someone needed to go down. So like I said, if you think she got with the blogger and made this big conspiracy up, which that's what it might have looked like at the beginning of the case, because we didn't see the trial. Now we've seen the trial. What do you guys think? See, you don't have to have a good memory to tell the truth. Let me say that again. You don't need to have a good memory to tell the truth. Every single witness that got on that stand was lying and didn't remember, didn't recall, and was getting caught up in lies. And back to the social media. Why didn't any of these people? They have a huge family. Chris A., Colin, Brian A., Big Bad Brian A., Boston's finest. Why didn't he ever create a YouTube or any of these guys to get on these platforms and speak their piece? Why didn't they ever do that? And all the people from the other side, the ones that are watching calling me crazy, uneducated, calling me names. See, it's funny. You people that think Karenread is guilty call me names. See, when you run out of logic, run out of facts, you start taking shots. Is it my hat that bothers you? Is it the fact that I do hip-hop music and I come from that? How is it that I bother you? Tell me. So you ran out of logic, so you took a shot. I invite anybody from that side to come on this channel. You could be the contrarian. The whole world is watching. I got people from Australia. What's up, mate? London, all over the world watching this channel, throwing up peace signs, throwing up donuts. The donuts, Chris A. The donuts. See, you had your wife that morning at 34 Fairview. I think it was after 8 a.m. Higgins popped up. Brian A. was there with his wife. They had a beautiful romantic night. Oh, wow. You know? And everybody was there. And then your wife pulled up. She pulled up in the car, in the blizzard. She got the Dunkin' Donuts. Now, this is the crazy thing. Was Dunkin' Donuts opened? And I see in the comments people say, what do you mean? Dunkin' Donuts is open all the time. Well, this is post-pandemic, and this is Canton, Mass. I don't even know if they would open up a Dunks that morning with that type of snow. Was there even plows to plow out the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot and so on? And post-pandemic, like I said, employees, was it even open? And then, Chris A., you said it was little Brian A. Jr.'s birthday. He didn't even show up. Was his birthday the 28th or the 29th? Because the 29th was a Saturday. Why didn't he just go out that Saturday? You could say, or the non-believers could say, well, there was a blizzard. Well, that didn't stop him from going out Friday night when the blizzard was starting. It just gets funnier and funnier and funnier, this story. When your wife pulled up, Chris A., your poor wife, wow, you gotta telling this crazy story, ritual, and all these stories that just match. And she likes to bring coffee, and, you know, it's like a ritual to little Brian A. I don't know how she got in the car, but she got the donuts in. But before she was about to leave, she turned her back. Brian A., hey, come in. I think we need to talk about, you know, this whole situation with Johnny. But the question is, Chris, when she went in there and she looked at Higgins and looked at big bad Brian A., did she say, hey, I got donuts in the car. You want me to grab the donuts? And I got some coffee. We can eat some donuts and we can get this story straight? What type of donuts did she get? Did she get the chocolate glaze? Did she get the jelly? The butter crunch? The blueberry? What type of donuts, Chris? You tell me. FAWKERY Donuts is now open.
Every year she did that. She got him donuts.
She got him donuts. I drove to 34 Fairview. And I saw her get out, and she was putting a box of donuts
In my son's car, whose birthday it was, because they had a bit between them where every year she got him donuts.
6 donuts.
Donuts.
I've been doing it for years.
She likes to come by and bring like coffee and donuts.
I opened my car door. I got out to walk to the car in front of me, leave the donuts and card inside. The donuts and card inside my nephew Brian's car.
I hit him.
The DA made a conspiracy, right? She backed up and hit him and left him, and then she came back in the morning and seen him, and then got with Jen and could have called 911. They made this conspiracy to up it to murder. You don't see that? Because in the end, if it was just rage and she backed up and hit him and took off and didn't think she did that much damage, then it really was an accident, Paul. So it's the DA who actually made the conspiracy, if you ask me. But take a look around, Paul, because it's not going to age well. See, the guy, Big Bad Brian A., he sat there like Stone Cold Steve Austin staring down all them jurors. And they got intimidated, okay? Let me tell you something, people. I would never disrespect Paul or the O'Keefe family just because I'm asking them questions. So, with that being said, the O'Keefe family, it's nothing but prayers and blessings and continuous healing. But Paul, I want to see you win. And I think what it really comes down to is that you want to win and you want to beat Karen. And this is not about Karen. This is about justice for your brother. It's about your sister, justice for her. She went out 10 years ago from cancer. And I know that must hurt. And now this happened with your brother. And believe me when I tell you, I know what it's like to be locked up for something you didn't do. I also know what it's like to hear them 3 words. You have cancer. See, I'm a colon cancer survivor, Paul. And I don't want no sympathy and no pity from anybody. That's not why I said it. Although, it's awareness. Get screened, 30 and up. Whoever's watching, make sure you get screened. But Paul, you do not want to take an L on this, meaning a loss. Take a look around. Ask questions.
Tell them the guy never went in the house, correct?
Yeah, that's part of the same text. Yes.
Does he have a name?
That would be John.
This is about your brother, definitely about your sister, and absolutely about your nieces and nephew. I want to see you win. It's not about you beating Karen. It's about you getting justice. Ask these questions. Look at the timeline. Why did Chris grab Higgins' arm at 11:58? Why at 11:32 did Higgins call Karen in the bar with your brother? If your brother seen that text, Paul, I asked you this question before. What would he do? What would he say? Would he feel a certain way? I would think he would. Then at 11:58, you see him saying, come here. Then at 12:20, the text comes through, Paul. Are you coming here?
Defendant said, what am I avoiding, question mark? I'm not afraid to be direct.
I responded some of my questions. Defendant responded,
Okay, which? Ask again.
I said, nope, tricks are for kids.